Hey, what's going on Facebook? Good morning to you. Happy day. Tuesday? Is it Tuesday? The days are all blended together. Hey, welcome to the Daily Dose. Here it is. We are in episode 30. Episode 30 Tuesday. Welcome. When you come on here, I'm just going to give a moment or two. I know Facebook lets you in to let you know that I'm coming live. This is a Daily Dose, a little off time. On every other Tuesday, every second and fourth Tuesday, I believe, is I have a meeting I do with church on a team at church, and we have a leadership meeting. And anyway, that is scheduled until about now, actually. So I just got off that call, Zoom, right? You're probably in the Zoom mode right now, maybe for your kids, maybe for your work. Gosh, I wish I invested in Zoom, right? But I wanted to just welcome you. Good morning to you when you come on here. And when you come on, to let me know that you're here. If you're on live, even if you come on as a replay, I'd love to just say hello to you. And this morning, I wanted to talk to you about charging your battery. So I have a little worship music on right now. That's one of the things that charges my battery. I don't know what that looks like for you. I actually posted a question earlier, and just one of the other things is just spending time. I really feel, for me, what's been really awesome is not just charging my battery, but just starting my day. Of course, you probably, if you've been following me for any period of time, you see, because I share that. I'm very open of what I share. The morning sunrise is one of the ways as well. And also in that, sorry, I'm just scrolling down. I did that earlier today. And then also this question, really like something that I found having quiet time, something that started for me on my very first mission trip. Went on a mission trip close to about 10 years ago. And it was awesome. You know, I was totally out of my comfort zone. Went out of country, was around a bunch of Christian guys. I was a pretty new surfer at the time. I wasn't very good. I just learned was learning in my 30s when I moved here to Florida, and went on very first mission trip and learned how to spend some quiet time, what that looked like. In Costa Rica, if you've never been there before, you know, in that area, the early mornings, like the sun comes up at like 5, even sometimes before 5. So we were all up early to go surfing, but also on this mission trip with other brothers that I went on this trip with, is we had some quiet time. And I'll tell you what, ever since then, really for the past 10 years, and it's not perfect, it's not always about like digging in and getting all of this word from the Lord, but I can tell you when my days start with prayer, when they start with God, just kind of the presence. Sometimes it's listening, sometimes it's in something I read. But I wanted to just make this the point of today's message is I want to know what charges you up. And it may not be faith, it may not be God. I can just tell you that for the 47 years of life, I've started my days many different ways. Started them going surfing, started them just, getting up and getting some coffee, chugging down some coffee and starting my day, taking a shower and doing all those things. Hey, Cheryl, welcome. Thanks for being on here. Appreciate it. And if you come on, let me know you're here. Don't worry, I won't call you out. I just wanted to say thank you for showing up. Thank you for coming on here. Appreciate you, Dawn. Good morning. And again, if you were looking at 8 a.m., my apologies. I'll have to do that ahead of time. It's every other Tuesday or every second and fourth Tuesday is when I do my daily dose. So thanks for coming back on. And all I ask in return is that you share this. So I'm listening to the song right now. It's so awesome. It's called Here as in Heaven. And I'll tell you what, I don't know how your days are charging. I don't know what charges you up for your day, but I just, today may be the day to ask yourself, what is it that really charges me up? Is it a good night's sleep? Is it maybe reading a good book? Is it spending some time out in nature? Whatever that looks like. I can say for myself is any day that I start thinking about what God's pursuit for my life is, it just honestly doesn't make things perfect. It doesn't mean I don't have issues. It doesn't mean that everything is going to work for my benefit for the day. It just means that it's going to be a little bit better. Understanding that even in this kind of time period that we're all going through, this struggle, if you will, this being stuck at home, maybe being stuck away from our family and our friends, is stuck away from relationships with our maybe with spouses or girlfriends and boys. Well, if you're with your spouse, chances are you're in the same house, maybe in a different bed, but in the same house. Maybe you switched rooms and I don't know what that looks like for you, but I would say it's just different, right? And in that time is, I like to wake up and start my days thinking like, what does God have for my life right now? And here as in heaven, it's pretty awesome. That's such a great song, by the way. And just putting a little in the background, just feeling that mood. But this morning, I just kind of felt, I don't know, I think people ask, like, Mark, how do you keep your energy and your hope up? And of course, I've shared that before about my faith, but also just waking up and being like, that's the first thing. And trust me, I get distracted. I want to like pull up social media. I want to check in with my coaching clients. I want to go, do a lot of different things. But when I just shut that down and I put that away for the time being, hey, Cheryl, hey, Dawn, welcome. Appreciate it. Good morning to you. Ragdo, good morning to you. Jeanette, welcome to you. Thank you for showing up. Alonso, appreciate you for being here. Thank you so much for being here. And I just want to say thank you too. And one of the other things I get inspired why this at 8 a.m., why am I doing this daily dose of encouragement? It truly is. I'm so encouraged by just the presence of God in my life and just what he shares with me. And again, it isn't always the things that I want to do. I'll tell you, to be honest with you, I was a bit nervous. First time sharing like my faith in God, sharing about how his life is completely like being a part of God and having him a part of my life has just completely transformed me and again, it doesn't mean things are perfect. That's the one thing. It doesn't mean I have it all together. It just means things are better. Like life is better when I can focus on him. When I put my focus on him, it allows me. That's why I meant this to be about what charges your battery. Because here's the thing. There's a lot of things that you can look for to charge your battery, right? Here, I can just talk to my peeps who are struggling maybe in weight loss, struggling with their health, and it's things like caffeine, right? Don't get me wrong, I got some caffeine in me right now. But caffeine, we look for cigarettes, we look for drugs and addictions and alcohol, we look for food, right? Food, I think one of the biggest things, we look for those things to fill us up, fill a void. I talked about filling a void before. And in essence, that as far as thinking that's going to charge your battery, I'm going to feel better if I have that fried food, or I'm going to feel better. It's going to make everything feel better if I just have another cigarette. Everything is going to feel better in my life if I just have that chocolate, and trust me, I'm there with you. Because sometimes I just want some of those Reese's. I just want some dessert. I just want some fried chicken, whatever it is, fried chicken tenders or something, French fries, right? And it's like, sometimes we grasp for those things to think that that's going to charge us up. And you know what happens? It's like, I don't know if you've ever done this with your phone, is where like you plug it in and you think like, oh, come on, charge up my phone. And now, I don't know if you've noticed, I feel like I'm charging my phone all the time. I'm using it all day long and I'm on here communicating, doing work and so forth. But isn't it feel like when you do go to those things, it's like, it literally drains, it goes to that little red light on the energy. Like you plug it in and it's like when you plug it in for like a couple of seconds or maybe 5 minutes, and you're like, oh, it should be fully charged now. And the reality is it's going to take longer, right? Phones are gotten better, but you get my point when I'm talking to this. Or when you charge it with like the wrong thing. My wife the other day, I'm not going to throw her under the bus, but we had a speaker, one of those portable speakers, and you can take it outside. And that's as far as our entertainment center goes. We have those portable JBL speakers. And she was trying to figure out the plug, because it's like a different plug. It's not like the same as the normal plug. There's like one specific one for that, and couldn't figure it out. She was getting frustrated. And isn't that the truth? Like we get frustrated when we go to charge our batteries or charge with our bodies, right? When we go to charge us up, and it gets us frustrated, right? Because it leaves us feeling disappointed. It leaves us maybe craving, oh, we got to plug it back in, right? We got to have another cigarette. We got to have some more dessert. We got to have some more food. We got to have some more wine. That's going to fill that void. And I'll tell you what, I don't know about you, but for me, it's left me usually on that red light, the little red light that shows up and it says you only got 10% left. It usually is like, this sucked. Like this really sucked. Like it didn't really fill my battery. And I'll tell you why I'm saying that is because there's nothing for me that's been better in my life, that's been able to really everything better. My business, my health, my relationships, my family, my relationship with my spouse, relationship with my kids, relationship with other people that even like I want to get angry with. Like, aren't there just people in your world right now that you just want to like you want to why? Like, or you think like, okay, it's one thing to be concerned, but like living in a state of fear, none of us should be living in. I don't care what your ideas of what's going on right now in everything that's going on. And even if you lost your job and you have a terrible relationship and you have no money, whatever, all those things, even that, there's no good in turning that and allowing yourself to fall into a deep pit. Again, you're gonna have there's gonna be no battery to charge when we come out of this. Because here's the deal, you're going to come out of this, it's going to be better. God's got a better plan for you, even if you don't know what that looks like, even if you don't know who God is in your life right now, even if you don't understand, like, why do you get up in the morning early to spend time with God? I can just do my thing. I was that guy doing my thing to myself. I was that guy that thought that I could just do for me. If I just, hey, I'm just gonna try harder, work harder, try to make more money, do this and do all those things. And when I realized I was doing that all of myself and my selfish desires, I was coming up short. I was coming up very short. So I don't know what that looks like for you. The dog is barking in the background. I don't know why he's barking right now. Oh, maybe my son's got somebody at the front door. Anyway, I'm not going to go there. So my question is, what charges you up? What charges your battery? I'd love to know. And if you're kind of struggling in that right now, I'd love to know what that looks like, what's charging you. You can see there's something charging my dog up, and I want to leave you with that right now, is in what that looks like for you. And if you don't understand, feel free to reach out. We can talk about it. I can share with you my testimony of how it's really transformed. We're looking for not just to get back to normal. I hope you're not looking to get things back to normal. The reality is that's not there. Back to normal is not there. Every new day is not normal. Every new day brings something new, right? That's the beautiful thing about having a new day. And my challenge to you is to look at how you charge your battery. Look at maybe why your energy levels are low. Look at maybe why you're depressed or why you're sad or why. And again, I know there's some mental components to that may be even too hard for you to understand. And that's where you may need professional help for that. I totally get that. Trust me, it runs in my family. But I can tell you is that if it's just a bit from watching too much news or not taking good care of yourself or health or not spending some time just quietly, even if it isn't necessarily reading scripture or thinking about God, is just having some time to be at peace with yourself. If you just started with a little peace with yourself and say, you know what, and just talk to yourself and say, today I'm going to be at peace. There's going to be things that are going to bother me. Pretty much there hasn't been a day that's gone by that hasn't been at least one thing, if not a bunch of things that bother you. And I'm sure right now, all you can feel you right now is understanding there's a lot of things that may bother us, right? May get us frustrated, may get us angry, may get us disappointed. And we can choose to allow that to fill our thoughts and our minds, or we can actually choose something that's actually going to charge our battery. Right? Does that make sense? So I just pray for you today that your battery is charged. It's charged full, and that it has a lasting power all through the day so that you don't have to worry as much. Cast your anxieties and your fears on God. Just even if you're like, I don't even really know about this God. Well, you know what? It doesn't matter. Just ask him to say, God, please take this. And even if you don't necessarily feel you get an answer from him, it's going to feel better to at least open up, to at least let it out. What is your struggle in what is maybe the most challenging thing for you? And I don't know, again, what that might be. It may be where your finances are, your business, or worrying about your kids and school and graduate and next steps and relationship with your spouse or your neighbors or family members, that sort of thing. It may be related to your health. And if you're like stuck, if your battery is on empty every morning you get up and you can't drink enough coffee to give you enough energy through the day, if it's regarding your health, if it's regarding how poorly maybe you've been taking care of yourself right now, I'm going to challenge you to reach out to me. I'm opening right here. I'm putting myself out there for you. Just reach out to me. Now, it doesn't mean I'm asking you to buy into my coaching program or anything. It's just to lend a helping hand. If I have something that I can help you with, absolutely, I'm going to help you with that. If not, I'll help point you in the direction. I've been doing this whole thing, helping encourage and helping point people on the healthier path, helping them get the weight off, helping them get on a better physical standpoint so that they can not just live, not just have their battery like charged up a little bit, but can be fully charged to do what they need to do in order for them to live the best life, whether there's faith involved or not. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to challenge you right now. If that's where you're at, reach out. You can send me a message after this. Send me a private message. We can hop on a quick call. We can talk about it. Because I can say the hardest thing almost, it's even harder to be on the fence. If you're on the fence and just be like, I really know I need to take better care of myself. I know I need to learn how to charge my battery. And here's why. Well, why do I even care? Why do I need to charge my battery? I'm doing good. I'm doing good with the caffeine getting me through the day. I'm doing good with just dealing with my stress with, a bottle or two or one. I'm doing good with just eating whatever the heck I want. You know what? I'm only going to be living once. Why not live the best life ever? Well, I can tell you, not to say that that's necessarily a selfish thing. So there's all some good things. Like I enjoy a glass of wine. I enjoy some sweets. I enjoy those things. But I just want you to think about in this time, if you could be your best, not just for you, but if you can be your best and your healthiest for your family, and maybe your grandchildren, and maybe your job, and maybe the relationships you have with others and in your neighborhood and people that are around and in and through your life, is that why not live life your best and healthiest as you're going through life, right? Doesn't that make sense? Because I know God has big plans, and why not be prepared both emotionally, physically, and mentally be prepared for that. And now I don't have all the answers. I'll never say that I ever have any of the answers. Hey, Michelle and Steven and Vinny, thanks. What's going on, Gigi? Sorry, Ginger, I'm going to call you. My apologies to you. I do appreciate you for watching. Listen, if this was encouraging to you, all I ask is that you share this with a friend. I come on here, the Daily Dose. It's a little later today. My apologies. It's at 8:30. Tomorrow we'll be back to 8 a.m. and until 2 weeks. It won't be until 2 more weeks on a Tuesday where I'll have to push it to 8. I'm encouraged so much. I'm encouraged by some of the people that I'm being introduced to, meeting from Facebook, meeting even, right now we're not doing a lot of face-to-face, in-person type of meetups. And I think this is a great way. If you need that encouragement, if you need to be charged, maybe this was enough to charge you up, but I guarantee it's not going to last. Just listening to me for 10 or 20 minutes on a daily basis, I hope it helps, right? But it isn't something, there's also probably another step that is going to be required for you to take another step towards just not charging it a little bit, but charging it fully so that you can be your best through the day. So anyway, I hope this found you well. There's going to be more from me today. You know that. I got some really cool things I'm going to be sharing with you later. So stay tuned, and I hope you have a blessed day. We'll see you. Take care.